In preparation of the High Peak conference next week in Toulouse, I'm meeting up with Ivo Bolsens, and Ivo Bolsens is Senior Vice President at AMD, and we're going to talk about high performance computing. High performance computing and AMD. Good morning, Ivo, good to see you.
Good morning.
High performance computing and AMD, what are the two doing together?
Well, I think today high-performance computing is a very important target domain for AMD. We are, as everyone probably knows in this field, and the first exa-scale computer, high-performance computer in the world is built around our devices, and we are very present in this domain, and so yeah, it's a very important market segment, and we have, I think, leadership products that are at the heart of the majority of high-end high-performance computing systems right now.
Yeah. Now, high-performance computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Now, these are the hot items of today, I would say. I also understand that, you know, it's not always that easy to actually bring together this world of high performance computing, machine learning and AI. What are the ingredients, or perhaps the bottlenecks? I'm not sure what there is, but what are, in your opinion, the ingredients of high performance computing and machine learning and AI, a successful implementation?
Yeah, I think high performance computing is, of course, a term that can cover a very broad spectrum of applications, and in many cases people are referring to high performance computing and AI in kind of in one sentence. There's a lot of similarities. There's some unique challenges that are coming with the specifically high performance computing or the combination of HPC and AI. I think you know, whereas in the past, in many cases, people were targeting or were kind of positioning high-performance compute systems with kind of a figure of merit as, you know, teraflops or exaflops now, and that was the figure of merit to highlight the capabilities of high-performance computing. But with the emergence of AI and the combination of high-performance computing and AI, there are definitely new aspects that impact, you know, the efficiency of compute infrastructure, I think. And one of the key aspects that is becoming a very important component is how the data is being handled, because many of the applications, and mainly, of course, driven by the emergence of AI, are relying on the capability to manipulate and process a massive amount of data. And that means that when you build an efficient hardware architecture, we really have to consider not just, you know, the compute capabilities, the maximum peak performance that can be given, but also the efficiency, how the data can be fed to these compute engines. So we are talking about, you know, how the connectivity of the high performance compute infrastructure is established, what are the capabilities, what is the flexibility, what are the topologies that are being supported, what are the protocols, and so on. And then the second aspect is the much tighter integration between memory and compute. So there is a absolutely, you know, just characterizing compute systems by purely the amount of flops that they provide from a peak perspective is not sufficiently kind of characterizing the capabilities of a compute infrastructure. Yeah. So if you talk about challenges, I would say that new component of dealing with that massive amount of data, moving the data around, storing the data, and processing data, be it at runtime or be it at rest or be it in motion, that's a new component, I think, that is one of the future opportunities, I would say, for new technologies.
Yeah. Now, Europe and High Peak, I would say, are also looking at, what is the position of Europe and high performance computing in Europe. You mentioned, this game is rapidly developing. You have the high performance computing, but with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning, actually a new chapter is starting. How do you feel that the HPC developments, the high performance computer developments in Europe, are scaling up with this new chapter and scaling up with this new situation?
Well, it has been, of course, I'm not as up to date anymore as I was 20 years ago when I left Europe. So, but of course, I follow, still what's going on in Europe. And one aspect, when I definitely look at on the academic side, there is a lot of leadership and strength in the European academic world. Actually, I can highlight that we in AMD, we have an initiative where we are supporting university centers to have access to bare metal access to infrastructure for high performance computing, and where they can tinker around with the infrastructure and leverage aspects such as adaptive computing, programmable networking, and the likes. And we have 5 of these centers of expertise that we believe have a leadership role in academia, and 2 of them are based in Europe, right? 2 of them are in US and 1 is in Asia. We're working closely with the University of Paderborn, with ETH in Zurich, and I can only say that the results that I see, that what academics are doing, leveraging that infrastructure, is very impressive and very promising. So I definitely, on the academic side, I see very, very strong teams in Europe that are at the forefront of the technology. I also think the European Commission has recognized the importance of building their own infrastructure. So the programs that are undertaking through the different initiatives from the European Commission are very, very sensible and are very good, in my opinion. And we are definitely following that closely, and are working together with many of the universities and startups in Europe on this field. So I would think Europe is definitely on par there in terms of capabilities and initiatives with the rest of the world.
Yeah, and you're highlighting actually the research part. How do you feel about more the practical implementations? There are a couple of high performance computer centers, of course, all over Europe. There's lots of things happening in the research arena. Do you feel that is there's always this step, out of research and out of the universities into the real world? How do you feel this step is happening?
Yeah, I think that's probably a challenge that I see somewhat in Europe. It's kind of they call it the valley of death, right? Between promising research results and then creating business opportunities out of that transition, from the research to bringing it into commercial deployment is clearly something where more work is needed. And I personally believe it's not just around high performance computing. It's more general. One of the components is, for example, the essential heart of all of these systems is the semiconductor component, right? And there, clearly, there is less of today, at least, less of a presence of Europe in that. And now they are trying to do something about it. There is the European Processor Initiative and so on that people are working on. And I think we could definitely keeping an eye on that and following these activities.
And what in your opinion is the big opportunity for Europe in this situation? Because there's all, you can always make a list of things to do, problems to recognize, etc. But there's always an opportunity list as well. What do you feel, in your opinion, is the opportunity of Europe?
Well, I think there is if you think about applications of AI and high performance computing, there is industry in Europe that could be ultimately a great beneficiary of this technology, right? If you think about the automotive industry, where Europe plays a leadership role, if you think about healthcare and medical devices and so on, there is no doubt that Europe has a leadership role in there, and I think these are places that ultimately would benefit very well from leadership role in HPC, and so I think Europe is definitely a good breeding ground for applications that would benefit from HPC.
Yeah. Now, a bit to a surprise of a lot of people, there was a new APU announced, the Instinct MI300, which was regarded as a sort of a revolution. Can you comment on that? What exactly is changing the world of HPC with the new MI300, which will probably in the second half of this year will become available?
Yeah, I think that, well, the MI300, first of all, I'm very proud of that device being, a technologist. If you look at all the new technologies that enable the performance of this device, I'm really, I can only say I'm proud to be part of the team that brings this to market, right? So there are many new aspects. We are driving the semiconductor technology, really at the forefront there. We are leveraging 3D stacking, active on active stacking, the compute capabilities of that device is this is now the third generation, right? You have the MI100, the 200, and now the 300. The compute improvements, the performance improvements of MI300 compared to the MI200, the previous device, is a factor of 8, right? So that is a spectacular improvement, and that comes both from architecture's improvements. Of course, part of it is also the technology, the manufacturing technology improvement, and part of it is new capabilities of the device. So I think it brings together innovations in the whole stack, from thinking about how you implement the algorithms towards down to earth the manufacturing, towards the power effectiveness. I mean, which is another aspect that when we're talking about, you started your questions about the challenges in HPC. Clearly, sustainable technology is becoming more and more important. So the efficiency of your architecture and how you turn the power into compute, right, is very important. And I think that's one of the things where we made a lot of progress also. The compute per watt, compute per dollar. I mean, these figures of merit have been spectacularly improved from the previous generation MI200 to the MI300. So yeah, I think there's more to come. We said, like, the silicon will be available the second half of this calendar year, and stay tuned for more information on that.
It will be a game changer.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time and your views on high performance computing from the AMD perspective, but also from your actual personal experiences, because you've been working with IMEC, you've been working with Xilinx, so lots of experience you bring in there, and I really appreciate the time you've taken to explain what your views are. I hope to see you in Toulouse.
Absolutely. If the the airlines are letting me, I will be there.